Okay, well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are across the globe. Welcome to On the Sofa with yours truly, Esther Austin. Well, today, if you notice, I got a slightly different setup. We had to go from plan A to plan B to plan C to plan D to plan E to plan F, but we've made it happen. And as they say in show business, the show must go on. Well, today with me, I have an incredible artist. He's a solo artist in his own right, and he also is a former singer with Archie and the Drells. So welcome, Clyde Anthony. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good that we finally made this happen.
Right.
Persistence, tenacity, and all those wonderful things that we had to put in the pot. And Clyde, I mean, we're going to talk about your latest album and track in a moment called It's Time. But I'd like to ask you, in a nutshell, in a peanut shell, or a crab shell, who is Clyde?
Oh, wow. Clyde is a complex person. Um, um, he goes by a set of codes that everybody doesn't follow, and it's his music. He breathes it. He smells it. He lives it. Every morning is a new challenge, and I walk into this studio of mine, and I find out who I am.
Wow.
Um, this is the part of life where I cherish this the most, because music is all I do. That's all I've ever wanted to do. And before I go any further, I want to thank you for having me on your show. This is more than I expected. I could be more happier to be interviewed by you today, and I wanted to let you know that personally.
Thank you so much. And I'm glad we persevered between you and the lovely Miss Daisy who helped set this up.
Right.
We persevered, and and that's key, because it shows then that the message that you are about to deliver is going to be incredibly important. So we've made
Yeah.
it happen for that reason. And so, Clyde, you said some key things just now about, when you walk into the studio every morning, you find out who you are. That's quite a profound statement. And it shows how much the essence of music exudes through you until has become you. Does that make sense, Clyde?
Yes, it does. It
And,
is absolutely me.
and so therefore, who is Clyde through the music? You said he's complex, but if you can break down that complexity in terms of your relation to music and who you become in that space.
Um, I say that because I'm harder on myself than anybody can imagine, and it's because I insist on excellence in whatever I do with music. Because my dad upstairs there, he has crowned my head with so much stuff. Uh, I think I got enough music for 50 albums right now.
Wow.
50 of them, easy. Every day I wake up, I walk into my studio, I turn this stuff on, and I wait to see what my father's going to allow me to do. And sometimes it's a whole lot. Sometimes it's just things just to go over. But when I'm not around my music, I'm a whole different type of person, because I can enjoy my friends or whatever I'm doing at the moment. But as soon as I'm done with them, I have to come back in here, because this is the only place I know that I can come without any remorse, without any problems whatsoever. Just me, music, and Jesus. That's what I do.
Wow. Wow, that's really powerful, because in that space, it feeds and nurtures every emotion, doesn't it, Clyde?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I love what I do so much. I wouldn't trade what I do for anything. Nothing. You couldn't pay me to trade what I love.
Wow. And if I go back in time a little bit, when did you first realize that music was in your soul at such a level?
Um, I would say when I was 4 years old. There used to be a show called Ed Sullivan. I'm pretty sure you guys know about it.
Yes, yes.
And I used to watch it as a kid. I would go inside on Sundays, and the other kids be out playing football. I'm inside. I'm looking at Ed Sullivan because I want to hear that band play. I want to hear that guy sing that song that I've never never heard before. The music just it haunted me because I couldn't believe that you could do so much with an instrument. You can make anything you want. You can show how you feel. You can make an audience understand that you're not happy about whatever it is you're not happy about. Or if you're falling in love with somebody, you can let the world know by letting them know through that song,
Yes.
just your passion alone for it. So yeah.
You've gone. Where have you gone?
This devilish phone, my God. Oh my God.
I can hear you, but I can't see you. Maybe.
Yeah, and I don't want to hang it up because
and maybe this is where I say,
okay.
There you are.
There you yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Okay.
I'm gonna cut this devilish thing off here because it's interrupting with calls coming in, and when it does that, it cuts us off. So I have just alleviated that.
Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. So you were talking about the Ed Sullivan Show and how that sort of influenced and inspired you since the age of 4. And you said about if you were in love, then there were songs that you can show the whole world, that spoke to the whole world that we're in love.
Yes, and I write a lot of love songs. I've been told I'm the next thing to Barry White, but I don't take any grain. I take that with a grain of salt. I appreciate the compliment, but Barry is going to always be Barry, and
the OJs, you've got to. But listening to you, I can hear the OJs through you as well.
I mean, if I had $1 every time somebody said OJs to me, I could buy London.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we need to start. Maybe we need to get out our begging bowls and make it happen.
Yeah, that would be fun. It would be fun. My biggest goal right now for me before I die, I got a bucket list, and my bucket list is to get over there where you are.
Okay.
But let the UK know what real soul music is all about. Because that's something I know that you guys use over there. You like the kind of stuff that we do, and I'm old school, but I put the new school with the old school, and it came up with a new flavor, which you haven't heard yet, or nor has anyone else. This is coming out on the new CD that is titled Daybreak, coming out.
Okay.
And it has a lot of different music on it. It has the R&B, it has the jazz, it has the smooth Southern soul. It's got a taste of everything that you can imagine on this CD. And I write, arrange, and I perform all the music myself. And it's just the way I love it. I do everything myself. I don't have to ask anybody to do anything for me.
And you can do it your way as well, can't you, Clyde? You can do it exactly. And also, as it's sort of downloaded or given to you, you can express that the way you want to express it.
Yes.
And that's key. And so, Clyde, moving on to your latest album, It's Time. It's Time. And I'm going to play that shortly. But give us an insight into the birth of that, the creation of that. Where does that come from? It's Time. Because I think it's come at an incredible time in the world, in history anyway, the theme itself. But, from your perspective, what is the album and the track about?
It's Time is a song that I actually wrote, and it was supposed to be for at the time of relationship that I was in. Things were going pretty good, and I would always think about what am I going to do with myself? with a female in my life doing music, because most females, they want you to pay attention to them more than they do anything else, and I'm telling the truth because you're a female.
Well, I don't know, we're all different, but go ahead. I'll let that slide.
Okay, well, here's the thing. Its time is what it is. I've waited so long to put something out, and I wanted it to be the best that I could do. And I didn't even think that this CD was really going to do too much in it at all, because it was made out of love. It was designed to be what it is. Mm. And it took so long for it to get here, because I did this album, and I'll tell you, I did it in 05 is when I did this CD, and there was a lot of red tape behind it. And actually, when we got all that straightened out, I just said, okay, I'm going to put it out. And a lot of my friends always say, it's about time you do something. And I think this is where it came from, because people will say, man, it's time for you to come out. You got all this music. What are you doing? Just sitting on it?
It's time. Yeah.
And I said, that's it, man. It's time for me to get out here and do what I do. So I retired from my job, and I'm living 24/7 in my studios every day, and I'm loving it. Talk to you.
Excellent. And you know what's really nice, you're one of the lucky ones who, when they retire, they can do something that they love. They can throw themselves into their passion, and it's just that happy place every day, as you alluded to, which is wonderful. And then I'm going to sort of go back a little bit as well, because you're talking about music and your love and your passion of it, but you've also performed with some other incredible bands, and I have to touch on Archie and the Drells. Oh my days, that is old school. That is good old school. It's almost like soul food, isn't it?
Yes. It was quite an experience. Archie gave me the opportunity to go out and let the world hear what I had to offer. We're talking about 1968. And when I actually got with the group, I was the valet. I'll tell you the real secret behind that. Archie hired me to be the valet and background and a backup singer with the band at the time. And I said, okay, I can do the band thing, man, and ballet, and I just didn't care one way or the other. I was out there. I was doing something I wanted to find out about. What's it like on the road? What was it like to be with these great stars that you see and hear every day? And I ended up with friends like Cuba Gooding Sr., Lil Sonny from the Maine and Greek, not Lil Sonny with oh God, he sung that song about cowboys and girls. I'm trying to think of the name of them. I can't remember the name of them.
That's okay. That's okay.
But yeah, oh my goodness, I just met so many people that I've had the opportunity to be with. Cuba, not Cuba, but you know, Peebo Bryson, just a name. Oh God.
Well, the Stylistics, I've got, you know, the Stylistics, the Intruders, the Delphonics,
Yeah.
to name but a few.
Yeah, yeah. It was on the road with them, with Archie, and actually, like I was saying, I wasn't supposed to be a Drell. I wasn't supposed to be a Drell. And what happened was when we went out on our first tour, it was in Atlanta, and it was at a theater they had turned into a club. It was a movie theater they turned into a club. And when we got to Atlanta, I did what I usually do. I put their clothes out and stuff like that. And the show that night, it was over 2,000 people in this one building. It was room only. And at the time, You Got Me Going in Circles was a number one hit around the world.
Circles, yes.
And I love the song. I've loved it, along with, you know, songs like Lady by Kenny Rogers. You know, a lot of people don't even know that I'm into stuff like this. You know, I challenge it. I love it. I'll eat and breathe it. But when I did the show, I ended up getting a standing ovation for 20 minutes, and they couldn't bring Archie on. So what Archie did was to call me in the back room and gave me an option. And he told me, either you join the group or you got to go home because you causing ruckus. So that's how I became a Drell.
Wow.
I was stealing the show. So he just said, you're going to be in a Drell, you got to go because we can't handle you. And I thought it was great. I've had some wonderful times in music. I've met so many great people, and you can read all the stuff that I've done and been able to do. I have artists that I'm working with now. Xavier Gardner out of LA. I'm doing some work with a guy named Joey Porter. That's a great guitar player out of LA. Norbert from Tower of Power is doing some saxophone.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Lenny Williams. Yeah.
Yes. And actually, I talked to Lenny, and I'm going to do a track on him too.
Oh, wow. Because he's just brought out a track with Shirley Jones from the Jones Girls. They've just done a duet. So look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm getting ready to do a track on him as well.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And you know, where do you see yourself in a few years' time? Because I just feel that, you know, this is your calling, and now that you say you're not working, this is just something that you're going to do forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, you know.
Right.
So I mean, do you work with youngsters? I mean, do you do anything? How do you share the knowledge or the legacy and the wisdom of your journey, Clyde?
I've always been asked a lot of different questions about my work ethics
Mm,
as far as my music, and I always tell people that if you don't have 150% to 200% to put in the music, don't do it, because it will eat you up.
mm,
And you have to have some kind of desire, some kind of focus and mindset, because music is just that serious. Well, it's not something you just decide, okay, well, I'm gonna be a singer.
mm.
No, you have to know what you're doing, and you have to have a purpose and a plan. And fortunately for me, I was able to identify my own sound,
Mhm.
which is hard to do. And on this track, I like this. There's a song on that that's called "Happy People" that is very good. I can't wait for the summer to come up, because when's the last time you've been on a family picnic, or I had a picnic in the park with friends and family? When's the last time you got out and enjoyed the world with your family?
Mm.
The COVID and stuff has changed everything. It's changed the way we listen to music, how we do our music, but you still have to move forward in the challenge of keeping up with the upper echelon guys that are riding the totem pole real high.
Mm.
And in spite of what I've already done and accomplished, and it still doesn't mean anything if you can't get that one particular goal, and that is to have that 1 million seller. And if I can get to that 1 million seller, I'll feel satisfied. And I'm not going to rest until I get there.
Excellent, excellent. So I guess in winding down, Clyde, you know, what can we expect from Clyde Anthony? You said you've got another single coming out, and I surmise there's lots of things in your Mary Poppins bag just waiting.
uh, the new CD is a variety of different stuff.
Mm.
Look to me to do a lot more of the contemporary jazz, smooth jazz stuff. I have some really different R&B stuff that I'm doing now.
Mm.
And don't be surprised if you see me on a couple of projects with some major people.
Okay, well, you've already mentioned some names that you're going to be working with. So, you know, ladies and gentlemen, you know, Clyde is the man to look out for in 2022. And obviously, I'll put details of where they can go, you know, your website, your contact details, so they can
Oh
follow
yes,
you.
we have a website. It's Clyde Anthony. If you go to
Right.
my website, Clyde Anthony, you can post, you can do whatever you want, you know, leave comments, you listen to the music, you know, Clyde Anthony.
Okay, brilliant. Well, Clyde, I'd like to thank you for your time. I'd like to thank you for giving us an insight into not just your music, but into the man himself. You know, what drives you, what inspires you, what influences you. And I know that it would be a pleasure to catch up with you in a few months' time when you've got the next your next album out. Is it album or single? Apologies.
Um,
Maybe I'm just
I
putting it out there for you. Album.
I want to do it. I want to release the whole album if possible.
Mhm.
But I will do this. I will say over the air as we speak that as soon as I'm ready with the first one, I'm sending you the first copy.
Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you.
You will
Thank
get
you.
the.
Thank you. And really the absolute last question, you know, for anyone who um, has that passion, has that spark, but sitting on the sidelines, you know, what would you say to them? Whether it's music, whether it's life itself, What would you say to them, especially in these current times where, you touched on the importance of spending time with family, you've touched on your own passion of music, you're doing what you love. So what would you say to anybody who's sitting on the sidelines thinking, I want to, as we say, shoulda, woulda, coulda?
I would tell them, don't talk about it, be about it. There's a song on my CD called I Don't Want to Talk About It. I Just Want to Be About It. It's the paraphrase that I'm speaking of, because the song is different. But if it's what you truly love, and I use a word very scarce when I say love, because for me, I'm totally married to my music. That's my
Yeah.
okay. That's my music is my wife. She does what I ask her to do all of the time. She doesn't argue. She doesn't fuss. She doesn't fight. She doesn't call me crazy names when I don't pay her any attention.
Oh, whatever.
So I would tell them, if it's something that you really, really want out of life, go for it. I mean, but don't just go for it. Do it. Do it. Don't think about it. Do it. Because you only get one time to live. And if you don't fulfill all of your bucket lists or your dreams and aspirations, you're going to die just waiting to die, because you have nothing to look forward to. And if you're taking your dreams and you're throwing them in the trash can because you got a new kid or something like that, I understand you got to raise your children. You got to take care of your house and family. But it doesn't mean you have to give up your love for what it is that your passion is for.
Absolutely.
If your passion is for writing, you should have 4 or 5 pens around you. If it's music, I have 3 keyboards. I keep them around in here. I can't help it, because it's me, it's what I want to do. And anybody that has a passion, you should follow that dream. Don't give up. Don't hesitate. Don't stop. Don't think about it. Move forward with everything in you. That's what I have to say.
Excellent. Well, I'd like to say thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your wisdom. And ladies and gents, Clyde Anthony, he's got a new album out at the moment. It's Time, but then he's bringing out another one in the summer, which is called
Daybreak.
Thank you.
It's your brand in front of the right audience on a global platform to a global audience. We also offer live streaming services, voiceovers and video production. For further information, contact 07956 533 907 or 07534 508 919. Get seen, be heard on LN Soul Radio and the Soul TV platform. Great advertising rates.
Hi, this is Paulie Carmen of the group Champagne, and I'm pleased to be celebrating the launch of the spring issue of Turning Point magazine. I've had the pleasure of being in this publication, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you more in this year of 2022 as we prepare for touring. So Champagne for everyone and Turning Point magazine.